One of the toughest parts of my job is being away from my family as much as I have to be.
It's easy to see Jeff Bridges as just the Hollywood legend, the star who's lived a life most can only dream of. But beneath the surface lies a family story that's as compelling as his most dramatic roles. From untold challenges to unbreakable bonds, the Bridges family has faced hurdles that would have left many in pieces. Stick around to uncover the side of Jeff Bridges' life that the world seldom gets to see. What the media won't tell you about Jeff Bridges' family life. Jeff Bridges is almost synonymous with the silver screen. For years, he has merited one reputation unshakable, bringing depth, humor, and grit to his characters. But how many people know about the man behind these roles? There's a whole other dimension to his life, one that rarely makes it into the headlines, one as deep and compelling as any script ever to come out of Hollywood. Because, though his acting career may be all that fans are talking about, it's really his life behind the scenes that speaks volumes. So what don't you know about Jeff Bridges' family? Stay tuned because this goes way beyond what the media portrays. Unlike many Hollywood families, the Bridges clan is unusually close-knit. It is almost unheard of in an industry where fame usually drags relationships into the spotlight, leaving them exposed to the harshest of scrutiny. Yet Jeff's family is different. They have kept their most treasured memories and hardships out of the tabloids. So why isn't this closeness part of the mainstream narrative? Because the Bridges family holds very strong to a handed down from their father's philosophy. One that believes with total faith in the core of putting each other first, before all else. Is this really the reason they're so close? You see, Jeff did not grow up in just any family. His father, Lloyd Bridges, was a Hollywood star in his own right, noted for his iconic roles in classic films and television. Jeff and his siblings grew up surrounded by the glitter of Tinseltown. Still, they were never consumed by it. Parents Lloyd and Dorothy Bridges grounded their kids with values beyond fame and fortune, instilling in them that no matter how brightly the lights of Hollywood shine, the family unit is what holds everything together. But here comes the twist. Jeff inherited not only his father's talent in acting, but also his penchant for family. Lloyd Bridges was more than just a father figure. He was a mentor, a friend, and a guiding light who taught the importance of integrity and loyalty. How many Hollywood stars can say that is what their parents instilled in them? Jeff took those lessons to heart, and in his own family and the rearing of his children, he passed that along, creating a legacy that endures today. So what is it about the Bridges family that makes them so different? Let's draw the curtain back a little further. Another instance is his marriage to his wife, Susan Geston. With the pressures of fame often crushing celebrity marriages, Jeff and Susan's marriage shone like a beacon through more than 4 decades. How did they keep the relationship so strong? To Jeff, it's all about creating memories and finding joy in those little moments, never allowing work to come between him and his loved ones. This is not only a man who speaks of family values, he embodies them. But that's not to say life hasn't thrown Jeff Bridges and his family a few curveballs. They've had their share of crises over the years, moments that would have broken another family. When lymphoma was diagnosed, it was more than just a health scare. It was the clarifying moment in which the family had to really come together for the first time. So what did they learn from this trial? Something very powerful. The more adversity they had to bear, the stronger their relationship became. The Bridges family doesn't stand together only in good times. They're each other's lifeline through all the hard times too. But the world sees only Jeff's public persona, the award-winning actor, the dude from The Big Lebowski, the Hollywood icon. Not all that they've endured. Few people know about his deep devotion to family, or the strength it takes in balancing fame with fatherhood. And that's just the way the Bridges family likes it. But what if there's more to this tale than even the biggest Jeff Bridges fans realize? The answer lies in the resilience, the unity, and the love that define them. A family that does not just survive, but thrives together. So as we go deeper, get ready to see a side of Jeff Bridges that most people will never see. For behind the glare of Hollywood lies a man whose heart has belonged to his family all along, a man who knows the measure of success does not lie with the awards or accolades that he has accrued, but with lives touched and relationships forged. And in that sense, perhaps the greatest legacy of Jeff Bridges is what most people don't realize about Jeff Bridges' unbreakable family bonds. Jeff Bridges may be known best for his Hollywood hits, but few people realize the depth of his loyalty and commitment to family. Underneath all the glamour, past the lens of the flashing cameras, lies a bedrock of values formed generations deep, values most people wouldn't associate with families from Hollywood. The Bridges aren't like that. The bonds Jeff shares with those close to him aren't merely strong, they're unbreakable. But what's the real story behind these bonds, and how did they become so powerful? Now, this can all begin with Jeff's parents, Lloyd and Dorothy Bridges. Lloyd was a Hollywood star in his own right, but his influence on Jeff went far beyond teaching him the ropes of acting. Lloyd and Dorothy grounded their family in love, respect, and a fierce commitment to one another. While many of the families in Hollywood are caught up in glamour and glitz, the Bridges family stayed true to each other and held on to things that meant more than fame. So what did Lloyd and Dorothy do differently? The answer lies in a mix of humility, closeness, and constant support that is seldom seen in show business. Jeff learned early, along with his siblings, to appreciate family time, and those lessons never faded, even when Jeff's career began to skyrocket. He often says he learned most about being a good person from his father, rather than about being a good actor, a sentiment that became the backbone of his own family. It's not just words, it is seen in how Jeff brought up his children with Susan Geston, his wife of over 40 years now. In a world where celebrity marriages break apart often, the strength of Jeff and Susan is well nigh unheard of, a testimony to the couple's commitment and resilience. But is it all just picture perfect, or has this family faced challenges that could have torn them apart? The Bridges family really went through all sorts of ups and downs through the years. From the pressures of fame to private family struggles, they've been through it all, side by side. In each of these challenges, they were able to draw strength from one another, bound together by ties not made in easy times, but in hard ones. There's probably no more touching story than that of Jeff, always putting his family first, taking time out of his career to be there for those close to him, sometimes meaning he had to decline important roles. Why would such a committed actor, one that is obviously so deeply in love with acting, choose family over career? The answer is simple. Family is what grounds him. It's where life makes sense. That is the support system that has grown to be the trademark of the Bridges family, an invisible force holding them together. More than just showing up, it's staying true to those values that Jeff inherited from his parents and passing them on to the next generation. Jeff's kids have seen firsthand what this legacy means. Before anything else comes loyalty and love. But these strong bonds were soon to be tested by something unimaginable, a health crisis that threatened to change everything they had built together. Would their foundation stand the storm, or would they be forged into something new, uncharted in any way? The health crisis that nearly broke their family, but made them stronger. When Jeff Bridges received his lymphoma diagnosis, it wasn't just a personal battle. It was a trial for the entire Bridges family. This wasn't some role in Hollywood he could walk away from. This was real, raw, and life-altering. As he began the grueling treatment process, the resolve within the family was tested in ways they'd never imagined. What does one do when the unthinkable is presented? In the case of the Bridges family, it was drawing upon the very bonds they had so time-consumingly built. Firstly, no one was expecting Jeff's diagnosis. He was one of those guys who had always been full of life, and here he was, facing one of life's huge challenges. But if anyone thought that this would weaken the family, they were wrong. Susan, Jeff's wife, was his rock through painful treatments and trips to the hospital. In the same way, their children showed him resiliency, similar to the values his own parents taught him. But there's more to this story than a supportive family. A turn. In the midst of Jeff's health crisis, something very unexpected brought the family together. It was in the worst of these moments, however, that they found an even deeper connection, one beyond words. This was a breaking point for Jeff and his family. Things that showed him love is not just about being there during good times. Sometimes it's holding each other up when everything feels like it's falling apart. Jeff's illness wasn't about fighting the disease. Rather, it was realizing together that they were a far stronger couple than they had ever perceived. And what hidden strengths did they discover along the way? One of those eternal moments was when, in the course of his treatment, Jeff told his family in simple, roaring words, "We're tougher than we think." It became a refrain common to all, reminding them that they didn't just face this for him, they faced it with him. Jeff's fight against cancer revealed layers of courage and vulnerability never before tested, which drew them closer than ever. As Jeff's health slowly improved, the family emerged with a new sense of gratitude and realization of how precious time with family could be. They knew anything might be hurled at them with no warning whatsoever, yet they knew they were strong enough to meet anything head-on provided they met it together. This health crisis, though devastating, turned out to be a chapter in their family's story, a chapter of resilience, love, and newfound hope. And so, as they moved forward into the future, Bridges continued to cherish every moment, knowing they'd emerged from this crisis not only intact but far stronger than ever. But was there anything more on the horizon that would once again challenge the bond? The shocking incident that no one expected. But just when everyone thought they'd seen it all, the Bridges family had a wild incident that left friends and fans alike speechless. Known for a strong, supportive bond, they rarely land in the spotlight for anything particularly salacious. But this plot twist in the Bridges story is one few have ever heard outside the immediate family. So what happened to throw the Bridges clan off their usual path? You may think you know this family, but this is a story that will change your perspective. It started out innocently enough. Jeff Bridges was spending a quiet weekend with his family, a rarity from the usual bedlam of Hollywood. Then fate took one of those curious turns, and what should have been a typical family gathering turned out to be an unforeseen one. Jeff, ever the jester, had something up his sleeve for his family, a bit of a prank for everyone to enjoy. He had no idea that things were about to spiral right out of control in the most unexpected of ways. A prank going that wrong. How could that happen? Maybe the truth is stranger than fiction. As the story goes, Jeff had set up a playful trap to catch his girls off their guards. But the joke went further than anyone could have imagined, leading to an unexpected series of events that surprisingly became a bonding moment for the family. Just when Jeff thought he'd pulled the ultimate prank, it turned out the tables were turned. Well, the family joined up to give him a return prank, in which even the dude himself was speechless. What began as a simple joke spiraled into an entertaining, chaotic scene in which the entire family burst out laughing to tears. This incident wasn't about one funny memory. It was to bring on something deep about the relationship of the Bridges family. What could a harmless prank reveal about the inner dynamics of this Hollywood family? This wild incident, as unexpected as it was, underlined the family's unbreakable bond. In that mayhem of a moment full of laughter and jokes, they knew even when absolutely bewildered, they could fall back on one another. Laughter has always been the Bridges family's secret glue, holding them through thick and thin. And this story, well, it is now another dear chapter, showing that their bond surpasses any Hollywood script. The family prank is a thing, but in the case of the Bridges family, pure magic is how they handled it. A reminder that they are more than a famous family. They're a family who enjoys each other's company. It was, however, an incident that might have sounded silly to outsiders. To the Bridges family, it became one of those memories that testify to their peculiar bond. Now, as fans hear this light-hearted moment, they are reminded of the genuine love and delight that define this singular family. But what's new with Jeff's daughters has got fans abuzz besides the laughter. They've taken his legacy in unexpected directions, piquing curiosity and admiration from followers at every turn. What Jeff's daughters are doing that's leaving fans speechless. Jeff Bridges' daughters are no strangers to the spotlight, but not for reasons one may suspect. These girls are carrying on their father's name in ways that would make most fans astounded and encouraged. Far be it from sitting in Daddy's shadow, they forge exciting career paths, showcasing the Bridges family spirit. So what have Jeff's daughters done that has captured the world's attention? Oldest among them, Isabel, has taken to a career in environmental activism, one that was always close to her father's heart. Inspired by Jeff's lifelong commitment to taking care of the planet, Isabel is elevating it to the next level. She not only talks the talk, but also walks the talk in dedicating her life to creating awareness over pressing issues like climate change and preservation of the ocean. What is most stirring about Isabel's story? It's a clear commitment to the environment, doubtless inbred from Jeff himself, an advocate for sustainable living for years. Isabel proves the Bridges name stands for more than just Hollywood fame, but purpose too. Then, of course, there's Jessie, who shakes things up in the arts, but in her own way. A brilliant artist in her own right, she is slowly making a name for herself in visual storytelling. Her works are raw, evocative, and doubtless very personal to herself. They portray emotions often difficult to capture with words. For Jessie, art is more than just a career. It is a passion which roots her into the legacy of creativity left by her father. What makes her style so fascinating is the way it melts together the Bridges family touch of art into a bold, individual style. Through her art, Jessie is keeping her father's spirit alive and proving that creativity runs strong in their family. The youngest, Haley, did what's perhaps most surprising of all. Instead of stepping into the arts or activism, she took on a very humanitarian mission that focuses on mental health advocacy. Inspired by her family's openness about their struggles and triumphs, Haley has made it her goal to help others find peace in their battles with their mental health. Her voice became a beacon of hope for all who had to go through similar issues, reminding people that one's mental health is equally as important as physical health. But what inspires Haley to be so open about such a personal mission? It's an empathy that has grown deep inside her from observing her father rise above his struggles and challenges. Between them, Jeff's daughters are each making a mark that extends way beyond their family name. They're shaping the Bridges' legacy into something quite extraordinary, an impact that reaches into environmental causes, art, and mental health. And as fans witness their journey, it's clear these young women aren't just carrying the torch but lighting a new path, one that tips its hat to Jeff's influence while leaving their unique stamp on the world. But is that all there is to their stories? Hacking their own paths, yet united in one aim, to make a difference, just like their father. The new family. Chapter everyone's talking about. After all the high and low moments, it was time to finally pull back the curtain on this new chapter in the family tale of the Bridges' renewal, resilience, and in closeness only wrought from standing up to one's challenges. Meet the Bridges family as you have never known them, stronger, closer, and ready to face life with a new resolve. So what has this Hollywood family been up to that has fans feeling both heartened and hopeful? You're about to find out what makes the Bridges legacy as heartwarming as it is inspiring. Jeff Bridges, having conquered his recent health battles, is now cherishing the moments that truly matter. He's not just back on his feet, he's back in the lives of his family, more present than ever. All this while, the healing period must have given him a fresh perspective. And true Jeff, he's poured that energy right into spending quality time with his loved ones. Now, every family gathering seems special, every shared laugh more meaningful. It is as if Jeff's journey with his health has deepened their appreciation for the small things moments they could have otherwise overlooked. Isn't that a reminder to the fans who have been watching outside the confines of that wrestling arena of what life is all about? Yet it is not just Jeff alone. His wife Susan has been the family's rock through these twirls and turns. By his side, she has stood in unyielding support, showing the world what a real partner is. They have, in turn, woven another layer of love and resilience into their relationship, one which has been a strength to their whole family. The two spend more time with their girls and create those moments in our minds that remind us all of the importance of family. Ever wonder what keeps the family so close-knit, even in Hollywood? To the Bridges, it is all about nurturing those bonds and never losing sight of what it is that truly matters. Jeff's daughters, meanwhile, have kept the spirit of the family moving in terms of activities that have continued to impress fans. More recently, the three Isabel, Jesse, and Haley joined hands in a heartwarming public gesture in recognition of their father's resilience. It was a powerful sight. Three daughters honoring the man who inspired them and showing that the Bridges' legacy is most definitely a family affair. Each spoke to how Jeff's journey has influenced their own lives, and their words fell deeply on every ear in attendance. It's clear, the Bridges are moving forward, but they do so on purpose to support each other, to stay close. This new chapter is one full of gratitude and renewed commitment that, yes, even Hollywood families can make it through the hard times when cemented in love and loyalty. Their story has captured the hearts of many with the way this family turned adversity into a beautiful bond, unbreakable unity, and a legacy that outlives fame. Day by day, they remind us of one thing so much more real: family. What will this iconic family do next? Only time can tell, but one thing is for sure: they have left a scar in our hearts, reminding each and every one of us to live each moment well with the people we love. The Bridges family's journey is a heartwarming reminder of the strength in family bonds. If their story moved you, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and, more importantly, subscribe to stay updated with more inspiring stories like this. We'd also love to hear from you. Drop a comment below on what you think of the Bridges family's incredible resilience. Let's keep celebrating stories that bring us all closer together.